Hey everyone, welcome back. So I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. A couple things I want to talk to you guys about. We'll take a look at Bitcoin first, the charts, but then there's some stories that Kosovo is banning temporarily Bitcoin mining. They got some obviously problems there. We also have Bitcoin as used as a payment method has been eroding recently over the past year. So we'll take a look at why that's happening as reported by Bitpay. And then we also have another story from Visa that 25% of businesses are looking to incorporate basically crypto payments into their application somehow. So look at that, and then also have looked into an ETF for Bitcoin miners. So we'll take a look at it's called RIGZ. We'll take a look at what they're actually holding in the ETF, how it's managed, and things like that. So we'll do that at the end and give you my thoughts on that as well. So let's take a look at Bitcoin, obviously. And well, first of all, as always, not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research. Please do not fall for scams. Spam posts get reported and deleted. So let's take a look at Bitcoin here. So here's our first story, but let's take a look at Bitcoin here really quick. So Bitcoin has been, where'd it go? There it is. Bitcoin, we've seen this line drawn here, kind of our slope down line. And we've been on the other side of it here for quite a while here. We haven't gone below it. And we can see here that we actually basically almost touched it here 3 times in a row here. 1, 2, and then the third time here just in the last week or so. And we've bounced off of this line here, and we've been kind of trading sideways here, it looks like. So Bitcoin's at 43,112 right now. We had low volume yesterday, today, even on Friday was kind of lower volume than we've had in the past here. So we'll have to see obviously how this plays out. The 20-day moving average has been coming down. I wouldn't be surprised if we test this here in the next couple of days and see if we can get above it. If we get denied from this level here, we may be coming back down to the 40,000 mark, possibly going down to the 37,500. So something to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at Ethereum really quick while we're at it here as well. Ethereum is obviously the 20-day has crossed the 200-day moving average here. So we'll see how this plays out. But volume has been really low also on it, and it has been trading sideways as well. And we'll see if the 20-day keeps on falling down here, if it starts to test that 20-day resistance. If it can get above it, obviously we'll be in good shape and go further. But if we don't, I think we're coming back down, possibly to the 3,000 mark here on it. And it's trading right now at 33,000 or 3,338. All right, so we'll see how this all plays out. Let's take a look at the network hash rate on Bitcoin here really quick. Let's reload and see how we're doing there. Let's take a look at the raw values on it, and we'll look at the 30-day values. And we are still, well, yeah, I mean, we're reaching pretty much new highs here. We're at 216 million. Prior to that, we were at 207. So we're obviously going back up on the hash rate. So miners are getting installed. All right, let's take a look at our first story here, which is panic as Kosovo pulls the plug on energy guzzling Bitcoin miners. So here's the real important parts of it. So from Facebook to Telegram, new posts in the region's online crypto groups became dominated by dismayed Kosovans attempting to sell off their mining equipment, often at knockdown prices. So if you're looking for miners, you might want to look at some posts in Kosovo. You might be able to get those pretty cheap. There's a lot of panic, and they're selling it or trying to move it to neighboring countries, said Crypto Capo, a crypto investor and administrator of some of the region's largest online crypto communities. The frantic social media action follows an end-of-year announcement by Kosovan government of an immediate, albeit temporary, ban on all crypto mining activities as part of emergency measures to ease crippling energy crisis. So we're seeing that happening quite a bit in Europe. They're paying a lot more for electricity and everything else. And we're seeing it also obviously in the East as well. There were some other parts here that I wanted to cover. So meanwhile, Kosovans spent the final days of 2021 in darkness as domestic and international factors combined to cause energy shortages and rolling blackouts across the country. At the peak of the recent crisis, an unforeseen shutdown at one of its 2 aging power plants left Kosovo importing about 40% of its energy on international markets, where prices have soared, and the government was forced to provide emergency subsidy to help meet the cost. So not good, obviously, that one of our plants is down. This is obviously causing issues, and, well, unfortunately, Bitcoin is one of the more heavily energy-intensive forms for electricity usage. So not too surprised there that they would ban it, at least temporarily. Since the Kosovan authorities made the decision, police and custom officers have begun conducting regular raids, seizing hundreds of pieces of hardware. So that's why you're seeing people, scrambling to get rid of them as fast as they can. There are a lot of people who have invested in crypto mining equipment, and it's not a small investment. Crypto Capo said people have even taken out loans to invest, and the impact now is very bad on their lives. Yeah, I do feel sorry for those people that took out loans on it. Bitcoin mining is expensive. If you're going to buy a miner, it's like $11,000 US. I have no idea what's going to be in Kosovo, whatever their currency is, but obviously it's going to be expensive. So that's a shame. Obviously people tried to hedge their bets against inflation and things like that, and now they're going to be hurt in their cash pockets. So that's too bad. Next story here is on Bitcoin's dominance. So Bitcoin's dominance has been, obviously, in the payment market, has been driven mostly by Bitpay. So Bitpay has provided some data here. So consumers and businesses are increasingly starting to use digital tokens other than Bitcoin for purchases. According to Bitpay Inc., Bitcoin's use as a Bitcoin's use at merchants that use Bitpay dropped to about 65% of processed payments, down from 92% in 2020. Ether purchases are accounted for 15% of the total. Stablecoins were 13%, which I'm surprised stablecoins were that high. And new coins added to Bitpay in 2021, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and Litecoin accounted for 3%. And I could actually see these growing higher in the years coming. And part of the reason is we're seeing kind of this retail investor going from where they used to be in Bitcoin, now they're going to these altcoins where they think they can have more impact on their investment, where it's going to go up 10x, 20x instead of the 2-3x that Bitcoin might go from where it's at right now. So that's why we're seeing that kind of switch here. And this is all part of it, I believe. The alternative coins use surge partly as more businesses have begun using stablecoins for cross-border payments. Consumers also tend to move to stablecoins whose value is supposed to stay steady when crypto prices drop, and they've been falling since early November. Coins like Doge also made a splash last year thanks to fans like Tesla Inc. Chief Executive Elon Musk, who on Friday said the token can be used to buy the company's merchandise. We also had Mark Cuban with the Mavericks allowing merchandise to be bought there, so that's what's driving it. When they did spend their crypto, many bought luxury good like jewelry and watches, cars, boats, and even, this is kind of funny, cover your ears, gold, which Bitcoin touted as digital gold. Gold is supposed to replace, according to Bitpay, the Atlanta-based private company's transaction volumes related to luxury goods surged 31% last year from 9% in 2020, said Chief Executive Officer Stefan Peer. The company's overall 2021 payment volumes rose 57% year over year. So that's great. So we're obviously having more adoption and everything else, but we're also getting a larger mix of different products here. And I think that was it here that I wanted to cover. There's a lot of details. If you guys want to take a look at the story, just search for Bitcoin's dominance of crypto. Let's take a look at the next story here, which is from Visa. So a Visa poll estimated that roughly every fourth small business owner from 9 nations has cryptocurrency adoption scheduled on their 2022 agenda. According to a recent study conducted by the payments processor giant Visa, almost a quarter of the participants across 9 nations said they intend to embrace digital currencies as a form of payment sometime this year. Furthermore, 13% of consumers in these countries predicted retail stores will begin allowing crypto settlements in the following 12 months. So Visa surveyed 2,250 small business owners from 9 countries across the globe, including the United States, Canada, Brazil, Singapore. Per the results, every fourth participant plans to embrace Bitcoin or some alternative coins as a payment method before the end of the ongoing year. So in my view, this is actually a very bullish case here for Bitcoin. We're seeing more businesses accept it. We're seeing people looking to accept it more. Obviously, we only have a supply of 21 million Bitcoins, so I think Bitcoin price is going to go up. This is a bullish case for Bitcoin to go up higher, I believe, as demand is obviously going to be driven higher. Demand is obviously going to drive prices up as well. So that's just my 2 cents. Visa estimated that over 30% of the small business merchants based in the United Arab Emirates, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Brazil intend to enable cryptocurrency options to clients in the coming months. In contrast, 19% of those in the U.S. and just 8% in Canada plan to do the same. And I think there's a reason for that. I think the other countries that are emerging out there, they've been used to dealing things or working with different cash systems. So whether it's credit cards or other forms of payments, as opposed to the United States, which has been basically a credit card processing country where people just put it on credit card or cash. Other countries, especially Hong Kong and things like that, they're very forward thinking, I think, in as far as using different payment methods, whether it's their phones and things like that, where people don't even have credit cards. It's all done through the phones. So I can see why that is the case there. And the US is a little bit lagging behind that. The payment processing organization also interviewed 1,000 American adults who are not in charge of companies, along with 500 more people from each other country. Nearly 13% of those 1,500 individuals anticipate retail stores to begin offering digital asset payments in 2022. So obviously, people are looking for different alternatives from paying with cash, paying with Visa or MasterCard. They want to possibly use their crypto assets that they do have to pay for things that they want to buy. So that's a good thing. That's also a bullish sign, in my view. And then finally, let's take a look at the story. So I was looking into, like a ETF for what's the other, mutual funds or something like that, that had miners in them. So there's another one that's coming out. It hasn't come out yet, so we don't know all the details, so I won't go into that one. But Virendi Funds obviously has their RIGS ETF fund. So I wanted to kind of take a look at what is their mix that they have as far as of all the miners, provide you guys with my two cents on it, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's take a look at what they got here. So this is obviously Virendi Funds RIGS ETF. So the Virendi Cleaner Energy Crypto Mining and Semiconductor ETF is an actively managed exchange-traded fund focused on cryptocurrency mining industry. So actively managed means that they can obviously sell shares, buy more shares of different companies. They can do this daily. They don't have to do this quarterly, right? So that's the only change there. Ticker is obviously RIGS. Current price on it is 26.23. And then if we look at the history, price history on it, we can see that it came out right around July 19th on the market. It did rise, obviously, as Bitcoin was going up to a high of 54.56. And then in the last couple of months, this was on 11.9. So in the last 2.5 months, it has fallen down just as the Bitcoin price has fallen down. We can also look at the premium discount here. We had a huge premium or discount here back on 12/28. It was down 388%, which is insane. So if you got in then, you got a nice discount on it. But otherwise, it's trading for the most part pretty close to the average of, it's up a little bit, but depending on when Bitcoin's going down, it's obviously trading at a discount here. So good time to get in on it might be when Bitcoin's going down, and then obviously you want to sell it when it's high. But let's take a look at some of the stocks that they own in here. And we don't obviously have any completed quarters of current year, so we don't know actually how it's done. We do know that days traded at Primo 77, days traded at discount was 38. Fund performance, monthly end performance as of date 12/31. We have, let's see, the 1 month is down 26.71 and 3 months is up 0.34. Since inception, it is up 31%, so that's actually pretty good. Quarterly end performance, let's see, the performance data quoted represents past performance and does not, okay. That's just some stuff here. So this is quarterly performance, and here we go, fund holdings. So obviously Marathon is their number one asset that they own in it. It's 11% of the total asset here of ETF, which I'm fine with that. This is good because obviously Marathon is going to be growing like crazy here in the next year, supposedly getting it to 23.3 exahash. They still have a long ways to go. They're obviously hodling a lot of Bitcoin, so I'm fine with that one. Bitfarms, I do own Bitfarms so full disclosure, I do own Bitfarms, CleanSpark, and Hive. Bitfarms I'm fine with. They're going to be growing nicely as well this year. Not as much as some of the other ones, but they are within the top 5 of growers, so I'm fine with that. You got Hut 8 mining. Hut 8 is only at 8%, almost 9% of this portfolio, and I'm fine with that. Argo as well is at 6%, and then this one I really like, the Taiwan Semiconductor, TSM. This is kind of a good play on it, so it kind of balances out a little bit the ETF here a little bit. It's not all crypto, but it is crypto related. So Taiwan obviously makes the ASIC chips for a lot of the manufactured Bitcoin ASIC miners. So this is a good bet on there as well. Let's take a look at some of the other ones they got in here. So they got Samsung Electronic. Samsung Electronic also has the chips for the ASIC miners as well. So they're only 4.71% of the total ETF. Then you got Galaxy Digital Holdings, which is 4.69, which is also another good play on that. AMD is another microchip processor, same with NVIDIA. So AMD and NVIDIA, those guys are more on the GPU side, which I'm fine with that. So these guys have been doing really well, especially NVIDIA has been doing really well lately. And then you got another miner here, Hive Blockchain, which is one that I also own. They're at 4.36%. I'm fine with that. They also mine Ethereum, so does Hut8, along with Bitcoin. Good play there, I think. Let's take a look at the next one here. What else do we have here? We got DMGI. DMGI, I'm trying to think. There was one DMGI or DigiHost. I can't remember now which one was going to be at full, I think. Let's take a look at it here so we can pop it up here. We'll pop it up in a second here. We'll take a look at it. See which one is almost fully installed on their future hash rate. Riot, I'm bullish on Riot. I think he's going to do some pretty good stuff here coming up, especially with their immersion cooling, so I'm fine with that. Riot is only 4.28. I would have increased Riot more so. I would have put that up a little bit higher in the percentage of what they have compared to other ones. Or maybe would have replaced that with Hut8, gotten Riot up there a little bit higher because they are going to be growing quite a bit more than Hut8 is. Let me see here, XPDI. So obviously this is one that's coming up. So this is the SPAC for I'm trying to think what this pack is. I'm drawing a blank right now. You guys can fill me in, or I'll take a look at it down below here, see what we can find out on. Greenedge is also good. They're going to be growing nicely, so I'm fine with that as well. Let me see, what else do we have here? And that's it. Oh, here we go. So we got a couple more. So Bit Digital is only 3%. Cash and Other is only going to be 3.81. Moss Infrastructure is another one that I cover. That one's fine, 3.41%. And then we got CleanSpark. CleanSpark I like because they have a lot of the newer miners here. So does Moss and Iron Energy is also going to be a possibly good one. I think they're supposed to get up to 15 exahash by the end of this year or early next year. So this is one I would probably have a little bit more stake in because they are growing so much. So let's take a look at my numbers here. Let me see here, guys. So give me a second here while I pull this stuff up. I'm going to come back here. All right, let me see if I can pull this up for you guys really quick. And we'll take a look at the ones I was actually talking about. Miner numbers, there we go. Okay, increase that. All right, so here we go. Let me zoom this in for you guys a little bit more. So here is what we have as far as the numbers go. So DigiHost, is that the one that's almost, yeah, see, DigiHost is at 55% operational right now. Where's DMG? DMG is only 27%, so DMG is going to grow a little bit more, and they're both about the same currently as far as hash rate goes. CleanSpark is only 45% operational right now, so they're still going to have about 55% more to go before everything's done. Same thing with Moss. Moss is at 41% operational currently. Bitfarms is only 35%. That's why I like Bitfarms. They still have a pretty long ways to go. Percent operation. Then you got DMG is only at 27%, so they're going to go basically 3x from where they are. Riot is only 24%, but like I said before, they're also going to do the immersion cooling, which will probably increase their total hash rate by maybe 10%, 15%. I think they're going to have, 48,000 miners that are going to be immersion cooled. Marathon obviously is growing crazy this year. They're at 3.3 exahash right now. They're going to be at 20, I haven't 25, but it's supposed to be 23.3. And then Iris obviously is going to be at 15. They're only at 836 petahash right now, and they're going to 15 exahash. That's going to be a huge increase, but that's not until the end or halfway between 2023 for the full install of all of this. So they obviously have a long way to go as well. So I'm pretty bullish on them as well. So overall, I think the ones that they did have in there are going to be fine. Let me see if we can find. Yep. So the ones that they have listed here it's a good mix. I actually have no problems with it. So the question now becomes is, do you invest in the individual miners, or do you invest in like this ETF here? And my personal feeling on it is you can do both. You can, if you have high conviction in something that you believe in, whether it's Mara, Riot, Hut8, whatever it might be, Bitfarms, who knows, whatever your high conviction is on them, you can go that way, and you can also get this ETF and go with the basket of all these miners that, even if one does poorly, hopefully the rest of them will do well enough to bring everything up with it, especially since you got also the semiconductors in there, which I think is a good thing. But yeah, I think this is a good way for investors to get exposure into the mining companies, along with the silicone makers for the chips and everything else. I think it's a good way to go for it, especially with it being down the way it is. I don't see why not. Obviously, not financial advice. Do your own research as always. But let me know what you guys think of this. Are any of you guys invested in this ETF or not? This is something that is kind of appealing to me right now. So it might be a good way to get, obviously, a basket of everything. So just let me know what you guys think. And with that being said, obviously, we got some bullish news with Bitcoin. The panic, I tried finding out how much Kosovo actually has hash rate for the Bitcoin network, what the percentage is. Couldn't really find it really quick. I'll probably do a little bit more digging into that to see if we can figure that out and what effect that's going to have on the miners here. I think it's going to have a little bit of a positive effect on the miners as well. So far, good things. We'll see how Bitcoin obviously does this week along with the miners, and then we'll go from there. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe, hit the like button, and the notification bell. Helps me out tremendously, and that's all I ask from you guys. Leave a comment down below. Love talking to you guys down there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then,